might have skipped your history lessons, but history is interesting when you mix it with some epic romances. Here at 10 historical romance anime you must watch. Let's go! Number 10, Zakuro.
頭にちょんまりついた耳以外はただの少女じゃないか。ガブッとやってこうシャムシャーっと。
We're starting with Fox Girls because why the hell not? Second Lieutenant Kei Agamaki, a guy with a major fear of supernatural beings, suddenly finds himself working alongside yokai maidens in the Ministry of Spirit Affairs. In an alternate Meiji-era Japan, Kai teams up with a fox spirit called Kushimatsu and other officers to solve paranormal cases.
君のような愛らしいお嬢さんに触れられたならこの心を丸ごと食べられてしまうと。
Now, hold up. This show isn't Japanese Ghostbusters with Fox Girls. It actually dives into the cultural clash between traditional Japanese yokai and the rapidly westernizing world around them. This was a real surprise for me because I went in expecting some Fox Girls fan service and paranormal mystery, but Zakuro really pulled me in with smart pacing and a plot that actually moves forward every episode. Plus, the romance isn't cheesy fluff. It grows naturally out of the flaws in teamwork. Number 9, Basilisk.
生まれついての破幻の瞳、技でもなく術でもなく魔物のごとき忍者の術を苦もなく破る不思議の眼じゃ。
Okay, now kids, skip to the next one. This is pretty much Game of Thrones of anime. The Iga and Koga ninja clans have been bitter enemies for centuries, but a ceasefire brings brief peace. Years later, Genosuke Koga and Oboro Iga, heirs to their respective clans, fall in love and hope marriage will unify their families. But when Tokugawa's grandsons battle for the shogunate, the clans are forced to pick sides in a brutal death match. And yes, this is a death match where people actually die. This anime nailed the classic Romeo and Juliet vibe, but with ninja gear and seriously intense battles. It's like Naruto and Romeo and Juliet having a baby, but the story is directed by Quentin Tarantino. At this point, I think it's obvious this isn't going to be a wholesome and happy romance anime. But in terms of historical romance anime, this does a really, really good job portraying the ninja clans and romance. Number 8, Katanagatari.
試す。
言葉通りの意味だ。参る。キエ
This happens in Edo-era Japan. Shichika Yasuri is no ordinary swordsman. He fights using koyoturo, a sword style where his body becomes the blade itself. He's living in exile with his sister, but his quiet life flips upside down when Togame, a sharp and ambitious girl, comes asking to find 12 legendary swords called the Deviant Blades. Shichika agrees, but the journey isn't as easy as he thinks. The story for this feels like a video game plot, in a good way. Collect sword number 1, fight the boss, go to sword number 2, fight the boss, and so on. But if that was the only thing happening, the show'd be boring. So what does it have? Dialogue. The dialogue here is so well written, it can challenge Bakemonogatari for a verbal match. Besides, watching Shichika transform from an emotionless weapon into a fully fledged human being is honestly pretty satisfying. Number 7, Go Sick.
Huh?
We're heading to one of my favorites. Kazuya is a Japanese exchange student in a boarding school in southern Europe. The guy is called the Black Reaper because of his appearance. But one day he stumbles upon Victorique de Blas, a doll-like girl with an uncanny ability to foresee the future. Together, the two get together to solve some strange mysteries happening around the area. And they also get involved in some political messes too.
なんで初期セット？これおかしい。椅子？君難民なの？
必要だったら 必要なのだ
This series isn't your typical detective show. It's more like historical fiction with a sprinkle of romance that actually holds its own. The way Victoric's sharp wit and Cujo's grounded perspective bounce off each other is pretty much what makes this story so compelling. This show also isn't afraid of mixing genres because the first arc has some elements that can make a horror anime more tame. And like I always say, never skip the opening and ending because they're so good. Number 6, Romeo x Juliet.
思ってたより細い腕なんだな。
なぜ
そんなわけにはいかないだろ。
Come on now, everyone knows this one, but did you know Shakespeare sold production rights for this story for an anime? This is set in the floating kingdom of Neo Verona. The Montague clan massacres the Capulets and claims the throne, but Juliet Capulet survives and grows up hidden. As a secret vigilante, Red Whirlwind, she fights for justice while unknowingly falling for Romeo Montague, the kind-hearted son of the tyrant who destroyed her family.
大丈夫ですか？
I'm actually kind of happy the story changed some elements from the original because no matter which way you say it, you cannot adapt a stage play into an anime. The new story keeps you hooked with intense highs and sweet, tender moments, especially early on. The pacing dips a bit mid-season, but picks back up just when you think it's slowing. The character growth between Romeo and Juliet feels just like the original, so if you're into those forbidden enemies to lovers romances, then this is the show for you. Number 5, The Wind Rises.
乾いていますほらご覧になって
This is directed by the god and legend of anime, Miyazaki, so you know it's good. Jiro Horikoshi wants to fly planes, but bad eyesight wrecks his pilot dreams. Instead, he jumps into an airplane design at Tokyo Imperial University. Hoping to follow his hero, Giovanni Caproni, his story kicks off after the Great Kanto earthquake and crosses paths with Naoko Satomi, a girl from a rich family. Over the next 20 years, Jiro's planes, especially the Mitsubishi A6M0, change history, and he's being stuck balancing his big dreams, his love life, and the guilt of what his work creates.
行かないでください今泉にお礼を申しましたのあなたがここへ来てくださるようにお願いしていたんです
This is like the Japanese Oppenheimer, except you don't get to see this in IMAX. Like I said, it was created by Miyazaki, so the emotions in this movie are going to hit harder than a level 5 tornado. The way Miyazaki directs and storytells just works with something that I just can't even put into words. So instead of staring at the screen, now's a good time for you to watch this movie. Wait, just watch the rest of the video first. Number 4, Rurouni Kenshin.
流浪にゆえまたいつどこへ流れるかわからないがそれでよければしばらく厄介になるでござるよ
This is set in the Meiji era. Rurouni Kenshin follows Kenshin Himura, a wandering swordsman with a dark past as the legendary assassin Batosai. When Kenshin meets Kaoru Kamiya, who runs a struggling dojo, they join forces to stop the fake Batosai, terrorizing Tokyo while protecting Kaoru's family legacy.
第一活人剣を志す者が自分の命すら生かせぬようではシャレにもならないでござる
Despite hiding his identity, Kenshin's vowed to never kill again, and that's pretty much what drives this story. The 2023 adaptation nails the soul of the original, with deep character work and themes of redemption that really hit home. The villains aren't just bad guys, they have layers, making the story fresher than your typical shonen brawl. And sure, the animation isn't as visually striking as the 90s classic, but it still delivers the punch where it counts. Overall, this might be one of my favorite remakes, and since everyone's boycotting Ghost of Yotei, you might as well just chill at home and watch a samurai anime. Number 3, Yona of the Dawn.
私を狙った私が王の娘だから
ヨナ大丈夫私がいます
Princess Yona Koka thinks life's all fancy dresses and perfect sunsets until her world crashes down. Now she's kicked out from her own palace and she escapes with her tough boy loyal guard, Sun Hawk. Out in the real world, Yona has to toughen up fast. She goes from a clueless princess to a determined fighter ready to win back her throne. Along the way, she digs into old legends and pulls together a scrappy team to take on the bad guys.
死なないでねハク死んだら許さないから
I think what really sells this show is not just how Yona isn't some helpless damsel waiting for rescue, but also how she isn't some arrogant main character. She starts out scared, but actually works hard to improve herself, and it shows. Her friends also get real moments to shine, so you care about all of them. The art's awesome, the expressions hit just right, and Hawk's attitude makes him stand out from the usual pretty boy heroes. If you love this show, you can always finish it and go read the manga. Number 2, My Happy Marriage.
工藤家当主工藤清香だ
綺麗な人
Mio Saimori's life is basically a big why me moment. Her mom dies, her dad treats her like trash, and her spoiled half-sister Kaya gets all the attention. Wait, it gets worse. Her dad decides she's gonna marry Kiyoka Kodo, a noble guy everyone says is super cool. The dub's fiance is like it's a hobby. Mio's bracing for disaster, but surprise, surprise, Kiyoka's actually kind.
浩二さん今までありがとうございました
My Happy Marriage isn't just a cute romance. It tackles heavy stuff like trauma and healing, showing Mio isn't instantly fixed just because someone's nice to her. I think in terms of realism and traditional romances, this one's one of the top-notch shows for me. The story also mixes in some supernatural stuff and mystery, so it never feels boring. If you loved all that, then you can go right now and start binge watching the 2 seasons. Number 1, The Apothecary Diaries.
承服に関わる下女用のものらしいな。例えば君のような洗濯係とか、もしかしてスカートの裾でも裂いたのだろうか。
Well, I really don't think I can give number 1 to any other show than this one. Mao, the apothecary's daughter, gets yanked from her quiet life and tossed into the chaos of the imperial court as a lowly maid. She's secretly super good with medicine, but she'd rather let no one know. When weird illnesses hit the emperor's babies, she figures it out fast. But that also gets her noticed by Jinshi, the sharp-eyed eunuch. Suddenly, she's promoted to lady-in-waiting for the emperor's top concubine. Now she's stuck solving mysteries, dodging rumors, and using her brain to survive a palace full of secrets.
これは呪いでも何でもない問題はどう伝えるかだ何かかけるものさえあれば
This anime mixes mystery and comedy in a way that's hard to beat. Mao's smart, funny, and totally easy to root for. This story connects every little detail like puzzle pieces, which always reminds me why I love detective anime in the first place. The art's great, the animation's smooth, and Mao's expressions steal the show. Mao is the best girl of the show, and Apothecary Diaries is one of the best historical romance anime I've watched.